So, I think it's been about like a week or so since I've recorded with the camera, since I did the update, and yeah, I'm much better now. The symptoms are all gone. I feel as though the symptoms and all the bad stuff of COVID is gone now, so that in and of itself is very good. But it seems the problems are just piling up the more I'm here. Because so much crazy stuff is going on. It's legitimately like, am I gonna leave Mexico and go back home to America and see my family and my animals again? Because let me tell you what's going on. Because from what I understand, all this is crazy, and it's I don't know. So basically, my dad's saying that obviously since I've been positive with COVID, I've been needing to quarantine, but apparently the Delta guidelines and some other guidelines, of which I don't really know, kind of differentiate with each other, where apparently Delta allows just 10 days, but some other guidelines are having us stay 14 or something, I don't know. And one thing I do need in order to leave Mexico and go back to the States is a doctor's note that I have quarantined, I have isolated, and that I am safe to go back to America without risking anyone else getting the virus. Which, obviously, for me, that's one of the big goals as well, because I don't want to give anyone the virus. That's why I've been okay with just staying here for a week, because if I had it, which I really do feel like I did, I don't want anyone else getting it because of me, because I want to go home. I do want to go home, but I don't want to get anyone else sick, especially if that's someone couldn't take it as well as I did. But it seems to get a doctor's note here, they have to do like chest x-rays and stuff where I have to go to the hospital, the local hospital here in Mexico, in Los Cabos. At least I'm pretty sure we're still in the Los Cabos area. Which I can understand getting the chest x-rays when I was first here when I was symptomatic. But now, it's been a week and I've gotten this is like my 4th day completely symptom free. I feel nothing like I did last week. But they're still asking me to get the chest x-ray. And my dad has contacted my doctor back in Tennessee, and he's like, that's crazy and completely unnecessary, because even when I first showed up at the medic center here in the hotel, which is literally connected to the hotel, it's like right outside the front door. Even then, he was like, that's crazy because his symptoms don't justify it, really. But in order to get the doctor's note that I'm okay to leave and go back home, I need to go and get the chest x-ray. Pardon me. I need to go and get the chest x-rays, apparently. Which my dad says this a lot, but in this case I do have to agree, it does seem like a money grab. I really hate to go and throw that stereotype in Mexico, but it just really does. It does seem like it. So, this entire time, my dad has been like coming up with all manner of how exactly we can get out of this country and go back home, and it seems like one thing is possible. So, Monday, this coming Monday, I'm going to be having a virtual visit from my doctor, and hopefully, and he's probably, like, with the way I'm feeling and with all the symptoms gone, he'll probably give me the recommendation, like the doctor's note and everything I need to go back home. But it's just whether or not the airlines are going to agree with that or just accept it or whatever. If they do accept that, because apparently with Delta, all I need is 10 days and the doctor's note. I don't need to be tested again, because with testing on someone who's had the COVID virus, it's possible that the test will come back positive just because I've had it and it's needing some time to get out of the body and everything, you know. But if they don't agree with that, then Monday I'm also going to be tested if the airlines don't agree with that or whatever, and whoever things are getting a little iffy, and this is just like, even my dad says what we're considering doing is gonna be like last ditch resort completely. But what we're hoping for is, if all else fails and we need the test, like Monday, if I'm getting the test, the best case scenario, I get a negative result and I can just go back to the airport, fly home, and that be the end of it. But here's where the last resort thing comes in. If the test comes back positive, we're gonna get a bus and we're gonna drive to the border of Mexico and the United States, and then walk through it, get a taxi, and go to San Diego and fly home from there, hopefully. And if we can't fly from San Diego, we just like get a car or a bus and just drive back home. The steps we are potentially going through to go back home is crazy. And all this just because I wanted to go out on a boat for a week and see giant fish. That's literally the cause of all this. Because I wanted to go on a ship into the middle of the ocean and look at giant fish that are triple my size. And this is happening. And I'm pretty sure I said that if I had known that all this was gonna go on, would I still go on the trip, like knowing that I get COVID and every crazy thing that's going on right now and potentially in the future, would I still go on the trip? Before I said yes, and now I say yes still. Just because, like, obviously we've had to, like, show the pictures. Well, my dad's been showing pictures and videos because he actually brought his laptop and I didn't. If I knew all this was going on, the only thing I would change is bringing the laptop. But with showing everyone the pictures and the videos, like, it's And even just being in the trip in general, just seeing the mantas and especially that whale shark, like, all that makes what's going on here worth it. To see those creatures in their natural habitat. And as the friends and family members who I've talked to who've seen the photos, they say that even they know the pictures and videos do them no justice, and they really don't. To really admire those creatures, you have to be in the water with them, and if I could, I'd go back on the Solmar 5 to start recovering and just travel those islands again and see those creatures again. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to because they wouldn't really allow that because of obvious reasons that I have COVID and they don't want the crew getting COVID, so. But yeah, the trip, it was just awesome. And even with all this going on, it was still worth it. 100%. If you're watching this video and you're able to do something like this, like a liveaboard, I suggest doing it. Unless you get like seasick really easy, then you might need to like either pack a lot of medicine or get on a bigger ship where the waves don't affect you so much. But if you are willing and able to do it, then definitely this was definitely worth it. Because I've daydreamed about swimming with the mantas before, but that the first one that flew right over my head, none of the daydreams got close to how I would feel. Not even close. So a lot of craziness still going on for me. It's May 6th now, I believe. Oh, May 7th. I guess I skipped a day. Let me give you a quick tour of the room since this is going to be my domain for a little while. I might as well give you a little tour. So, this is the scenery I've had every day now. Obviously, with me being positive with COVID, I have not been allowed to leave the room, so this whole place, the room and everything and the sites and all, it's been my domain for a little over a week now. Obviously, I'm not the best caretaker of a room, but I'm just stuck in here, so what's really the point? And to be honest, I don't know what to do with the garbage, so it's just been piling up for a while. I don't know if they allow me to take it out or leave it out, because I'm not gonna lie, the people who are staffed here, they are kind of nervous around me and Kathy, who is the other person who got tested positive for COVID. Not that I blame them, obviously. They don't want to get it, and I completely understand that. But it just makes staying here just a little complex with figuring out what to do next with the garbage. Because I'm kind of running out of space for it. And that's a little good. I didn't bring my more sturdy tripod because I didn't think I would be needing it. All in hindsight. All in hindsight. But yeah, it's been a little boring in here, yeah. I mean, I watched a bunch of shows on Netflix and a bunch of shows, movies on Netflix, but starting to run out now since it's been a week. And I've beat Pokemon Sword, so I started Shield, but I haven't really. I think I've only recently beat the first gym leader on Shield, so I can still find entertaining things to do. I play Solitaire with actual cards sometimes, even though I have an app on my phone of Solitaire, which is infinitely easier because it's electronic and not cards, so I don't have to go through the trouble of shuffling them by hand every time. But sometimes the old way of Solitaire is more fun, and it's more rewarding to win with an actual deck of cards in Solitaire, like real life Solitaire. But I don't know if you probably can tell that I haven't shaved in a while. That's because I've been without my razor for a week. I mean, I don't know if you saw the razor on the table over there, but that's like an actual razor, and I don't use those. I have used them, but I don't use them anymore. I use one of the electronic shavers. I find it immensely easier and a whole lot less painful, because I remember the time I scratched my finger on some of those blades, and oh gosh, that was not cool. That was not fun. That was so cringy. It's just, I keep thinking of what's potentially gonna happen and what we're potentially gonna be doing, and like, it's like I've paid my time with COVID. Like, can I just leave, please? And my dad, being him, he thinks that us being here, it wasn't just for COVID. Like, he seems to think that they just had this like algorithm or a set situation where some of us were gonna be positive for COVID, and basically there's at least some of him, like, I don't want to go out and say like it was like it's all of him that believes this, but definitely some of him believes that the Mexican airport and some other people are wanting us to be here to try and get money out of us. I could see that with the chest x-rays, but to be honest, I don't really agree with it in that aspect. I think I really did have it. Because I felt bad. I felt pretty bad. Because I lost my appetite during that. And anyone who knows me, especially my mom, whenever I say I don't have an appetite, she knows something's wrong. And it's gotten to the point in my life where when that happens, I know something's wrong. But it was pointed out to me that that's not really a common symptom of COVID, because with COVID you typically lose your sense of smell and taste and all that. But for me, I didn't lose any of that. I just had a sore throat, cough, fatigue, and the added loss of appetite, which is not a normal symptom, but it was for me, I guess. I guess it's just my body's own way of saying that something's wrong. That's pretty smart of you, body. I owe you a milkshake when we get home. It's crazy to think I'm still here, still in this room. It's just kind of crazy when you really think about it. Just seeing the same thing every day. The scenery, like, all that's still the same. Because I haven't moved. It's just been this room and opening the door when my dad brings me something to eat every once in a while, but I haven't actually been out and about for a whole week. And that's crazy, because even when I'm bored at my house, I'll still go outside, but now I can't even really do that except the balcony, but that's not, I mean, it's outside, but it isn't really outside where I can just go out and experience everything there is on the outside world. But I understand why I'm in this situation. Just to make things easier, I would like to travel back by airplane. And just not to waste much more time with getting back home in my own bed. And not to mention, today I ran out of one of my medicine for anxiety, so that's gonna make things a little bit more rough for these next few days. And the crazy thing is that when you guys are watching this is all gonna be over for me, but just recording this right here in the moment, I myself at this point in the video do not know what's about to happen to me. I genuinely don't, and that's a little creepy, but interesting to think that you guys, when you're seeing this, all the things that are going on with me, the things that will happen to me, will have already been done. And I just hope it's gonna be good. I hope things will work out. And I guess with that, it's not really for you to concern about. It's me. So when you're watching this part of the video, just, even though it might be a little late, just send me some good hopes, I guess. And I'll see you in the next update, or whatever I do in the time that I'm spending here. So, see ya.